Do you know why some people never keep dolls in their homes? Especially the old ones with glass eyes that seem to follow you around the room? This isn't just another ghost story. It's a real account told by a woman who's been tormented since she was 13 by a doll, given to her by a strange neighbor who disappeared days later. This wasn't just any birthday gift. It was the beginning of years of fear, sleepless nights, and something no one could ever explain. They tried to burn it. They tried to forget it, but always came back. This story comes from the quiet backroads of Appalachian, West Virginia, where forest-lined neighborhoods hide more than deer and bears. Jenna, now 32, recalls her terrifying teenage years in the small town of Elkins, nestled deep in the mountains. It's the kind of town where everyone knows your name, except the woman who lived next door. Jenna shares how a seemingly innocent gift from a cold, distant neighbor turned into a nightmare that haunted her family for nearly a decade. It started on her 13th birthday, and it didn't end until fire and water met death. Jenna had always adored dolls. Her room was filled with them, ranging from soft plushies to antique porcelain collectibles passed down from her grandmother. So, when her mysterious neighbor, Mrs. Calloway, came over with a wrapped box on her 13th birthday, Jenna didn't hesitate to unwrap it with excitement. Inside was a vintage baby doll, porcelain skin, glassy blue eyes that didn't quite face forward, and a faded pink dress with lace that looked hand-stitched. But there was something off. The doll had a strange weight to it. Its body was cold. Not room temperature cold, but unnervingly cold, like it had been buried in ice. Mrs. Calloway didn't say much. She simply smiled and said, "She's yours now. Take good care of her." 3 days later, she vanished. Her house locked, lights out, and no forwarding address. That's when things started to change. Jenna began waking up at exactly 2:13 a.m. every morning, never a minute early or late. At first, it was the sounds, a soft knocking on her closet door, whispers that echoed but weren't quite words. Then came the cold. Her room, despite the summer heat, felt like a walk-in freezer. The doll started moving. She'd place it on the shelf, only to find it sitting on her desk. Once she woke up with it tucked under her arm, though she swore she never brought it into bed. Her parents brushed it off as imagination. "You're just growing up. Stress, maybe hormones." Even when her little brother said he saw the doll blink at him, they still didn't believe her. It wasn't until Jenna's mother found the doll in the refrigerator, facing outward, eyes wide, that she started to question everything. The turning point came one terrifying night in early December. The family was asleep when a piercing scream echoed through the house. Jenna's little brother, Danny, was found locked in the bathroom, door jammed shut from the inside. He had scratches on his arms and wouldn't stop sobbing, saying, "The doll was walking. She walked to me." That same night, her father caught a glimpse of something on the baby monitor, which they still had running in Jenna's room. A small, pale figure standing in the corner, motionless but breathing. The feed glitched and cut out. Finally, they all agreed something had to be done. Her father built a fire pit in the backyard. They doused the doll in lighter fluid and lit the match. The flames flared high, the fire hissing and crackling. As the doll burned, a horrific sound rose, like a child's scream blended with static and something inhuman. And then silence. Jenna slept like a rock that night. For the first time in months, there were no whispers, no cold, no nightmares. But 3 days later, she opened her closet. The doll was there, not a single burn mark. Its porcelain face as pristine as the day she got it. That night, the chaos returned, worse than before. Her father's tools were found scattered in the hallway, some of them sticking out of the walls. Her mother's cross necklace was found snapped in half on the floor. The TV turned on by itself, always showing static with faint children's laughter in the background. They sought out help. A spiritualist named Marla from a neighboring town. After inspecting the doll, Marla turned pale and said the spirit wasn't just haunting it, it was anchored to it. Burnings wouldn't work alone. The only way to break the attachment was to burn the doll, collect its ashes, and pour them into a running body of water under the light of dawn. The family made preparations. They burned the doll again, this time crushing every fragment in a powder. They sealed the ashes in a glass jar and left for the nearby Tigert River early the next morning. But the journey wasn't easy. The car broke down 20 minutes out. Jenna began seizing in the back seat. Her eyes rolled back, whispering things in a voice that wasn't hers. Her father carried her while her mother clutched the jar of ashes. As they neared the river, wild dogs appeared from the trees, blocking their path, howling. The wind grew violent, and the ground beneath them trembled. But they didn't stop. With her final strength, Jenna's mother waded knee-deep into the river and poured the ashes in. The moment the last speck of ash touched the water, the air went completely still, and Jenna opened her eyes. Jenna's story isn't the kind you hear at sleepovers. It's the kind that stays with you, the kind that makes you check your closets twice and think twice about that gift from the old neighbor. What makes it truly terrifying is how real it feels. No over-the-top jump scares, no flashy demons, just a doll, an unwanted presence, and a family slowly consumed by fear. Jenna still won't own a doll to this day. And as she says, if you ever receive a gift from someone you barely know, trust your gut. Some things carry more than memories. That's one lesson her family learned the hard way. Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain? A toy that moved? A shadow in your room? A feeling that something was watching you? We want to hear your story. Drop it in the comments below. Your experience could be featured in our next video. And if you enjoyed this chilling tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a midnight story. Watch our next video, The Crying Girl in Room 207, a hotel horror story. Stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, not all gifts are blessings.